Park him? Verstappen fires back after suspension calls as Hamilton makes bold Ferrari promise. Fresh controversy has erupted across the Formula One paddock after Juan Pablo Montoya called for Max Verstappen to be pushed toward a race ban over his repeated criticism of the FIA's 2026 regulations. As Lewis Hamilton vows to radically change his Ferrari approach after a painful Miami weekend, Verstappen has now responded publicly to the growing backlash. Formula One's already explosive 2026 season has taken another dramatic turn following calls for Max Verstappen to face severe sanctions over his outspoken criticism of the sport's new technical regulations. Former F1 race winner Juan Pablo Montoya ignited debate after suggesting the FIA should hand Verstappen enough penalty points to push him toward an automatic race suspension, arguing the Dutchman's comments about the current generation of cars had crossed the line. Verstappen has repeatedly attacked the 2026 regulations throughout the season, describing the cars as anti-racing, comparing them to Formula E on steroids, and even joking that driving them sometimes felt like Mario Kart because of the extreme battery management demands. Montoya believes the criticism has become damaging for Formula One itself. "You've got to respect the sport," Montoya said. "You can dislike the regulations, but there should be consequences for constantly speaking negatively about the championship you race in." The Colombian went even further by suggesting the FIA should aggressively punish Verstappen through the super license penalty point system. "Park him. Add 7 or 8 points to his license. I guarantee the messaging changes immediately after that," Montoya added. Although Verstappen currently sits far below the 12-point threshold required for an automatic race ban, the comments immediately triggered intense discussion throughout the paddock and online.
Now, Verstappen has finally responded. Speaking after the Miami Grand Prix weekend, the Red Bull driver dismissed suggestions that he should be punished for speaking honestly about the sport's direction. "I'm not here to insult Formula One," Verstappen said. "I love racing. That's exactly why I speak openly about these cars. If something feels wrong from a driver's perspective, I think we should be allowed to say it." The four-time world champion insisted his criticism comes from passion rather than negativity. "People are acting like I'm attacking the sport. I'm actually trying to protect what makes Formula One special," he explained. "Drivers should be pushing flat out, fighting naturally, not constantly thinking about battery percentages every lap." Verstappen also rejected the idea that his comments are linked to Red Bull's inconsistent start to the season. "I said similar things back in 2023 when we were winning everything, so this has nothing to do with results. It's about the direction Formula One is taking." The Dutchman even appeared amused by Montoya's proposal. "If speaking honestly deserves penalty points now, then maybe we're going in an even stranger direction than I thought," Verstappen joked. The controversy comes during an emotionally charged period for Red Bull. Despite major upgrades introduced in Miami, helping Verstappen finish 5th after a recovery drive through the field, the reigning world champion remains only 7th in the standings after 4 rounds. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton endured another frustrating weekend for Ferrari in Miami, where opening lap contact with Franco Colapinto severely damaged his car and destroyed any realistic chance of fighting near the front. Hamilton eventually crossed the line in 6th after spending most of the race isolated in what he described as no man's land.
Following the race, the 7-time world champion admitted Ferrari must rethink its entire preparation process going forward. "I'm going to have a different approach for the next race," Hamilton revealed. "The way we're preparing weekends right now clearly isn't helping us enough." The Briton believes Ferrari had the pace to compete far higher before the early damage ruined his afternoon. "Without the damage, I honestly think we would have been right there in the fight," he said. "The car actually felt strong on the laps to the grid, which makes the result even more frustrating." Hamilton also acknowledged Ferrari's continuing weakness on straights remains a major concern heading into the next round in Canada. "We're still losing around 3 or 4 tenths on straight-line speed," he admitted. "That problem is not magically disappearing overnight." Despite the disappointment, Hamilton promised Ferrari would respond aggressively. "Miami is a weekend we need to learn from quickly," he said. "The team has worked incredibly hard, and now it's about finding a better direction immediately." While Hamilton focuses on rebuilding Ferrari's momentum, Verstappen's battle appears increasingly political as much as competitive.
The FIA has already introduced mid-season adjustments to the 2026 regulations following complaints from drivers regarding dangerous closing speeds, energy deployment issues, and inconsistent racing dynamics. However, Verstappen remains unconvinced the changes go far enough. The tweaks helped a little bit, Verstappen admitted, but honestly, we're still not where Formula One should be. The debate has exposed a growing divide inside the paddock. Some believe drivers must publicly defend the sport's image, while others argue outspoken criticism is necessary to force meaningful change. For Verstappen, the answer remains simple. If nobody says anything, nothing improves, he said. At the end of the day, all drivers want the same thing: better racing.